Sean, no!
Hello, everybody. We're back to the Frozen Frontier, and Sean's back too. Excellent. Nope, he's almost back.
Van Helsing came back from the dead. Or no, Ferris came back.
All right, so we're back. You guys explore the town. You split up. Everyone runs around in different ways, and no one's near each other when we have encounters.
Like less than 200 feet away from each other, investigating adjacent houses.
We check a few houses, and then I want to encourage the party to go to the keep, set up base, and then set out from there. Once we've set up base in the keep.
So I want to clarify real quick before we jump into that plan. Can you describe the keep to me? Because Nick thinks it's like this fortified building, kind of like the center of a castle or like a tower, and I think of it more as like a sprawling manor house for a lord. Can you shed some light on what it is?
It's like a tower. It's a fortified tower, basically, maybe 30 feet on a side and a couple stories high, made out of stone. It's like the Mott of the Mott and Bailey.
That's odd to me, but okay, great. Then I'm totally down, Nick.
All right. So I want to we can check a couple of houses first, make sure there's no like if we start finding goblins in some of the houses, then maybe we've got a different plan. We're not just going to walk straight into the middle of town. But as long as it seems like there's nothing here.
Yeah. Well, so you're on the outside edge of town, and you start moving in, checking a few buildings here, checking a few buildings there. There are a lot of buildings in town. It would probably take you a day or maybe even two to check them all.
I want to like kind of narrow my search because I'm looking specifically for bodies. So I'll give a look into buildings, like I'll glance through them real quick, but I want to find something that looks like it might be a graveyard or a church or where there might be catacombs. Like I'm very specifically looking for dead people.
Okay. So that means you're going to probably venture into the center of town, where it would be more buildings, more close together, and probably a more populated section, rather than like the farmyards on the edge of town.
Okay. Wouldn't you typically put a graveyard on the outskirts of town? Perhaps like out behind the church or something?
Yeah. That might be the situation too. If you're looking for a graveyard, it might be on the edge of town. But if you're looking for... looking for like frozen bodies, like you found that one time... then you want things that aren't buried underground.
Preferably, right? I would want both. Okay. I want to see a normal body and a cursed body. Or maybe there's just cursed bodies. I want to find bodies. Like, I need more data points.
Okay. Yarmir the Necromancer begins. So you do find a section on the southwest side of town that looks like it would be a graveyard. The only thing that gives it away is this, an obelisk sticking up above the snow in an unforested area that looks oddly like an obelisk you might find of an important person in a graveyard.
Interesting. Okay.
So are you splitting away from us, Yarmir? Or
probably, if I have to, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Yarmir is like all consumed with this like search now. Like you've seen him get like this before, like where he just like kind of goes off and does his own shit because he's just like on a mission now.
As he walks off, I turn to Grimes and say, "Grimes, can you follow and make sure he's all right?"
That's what I was thinking. I mean, Grimes has a bit of a strategic mindset here, so he's trying to keep trying to keep eyes on where the party is and staying within a couple hundred feet of everyone and making sure that if anyone jumps...
Perhaps being in groups of two would be a good idea for us search in general. Best not to go alone.
Let's go check out the keep. You two check out wherever Yarmir is going and meet us back there before sundown.
All right. If any Yetis jump us, I'll whistle.
Yeah. All right.
How far is it across, like how big is the town? How far would it be from keep to... the southeast, wherever Yarmir is looking?
1.5 miles.
Oh, yikes. So we are splitting the party. All right.
Yeah, the keep is positioned like nice up on a hillside, so it can have like a good view of everything, but that also puts it kind of far away.
So, I've got my horn in hand. You can do Yarmir first, but...
Sure. Someone was going with Yarmir?
Grimes is. I think initially it's like Grimes trailing Yarmir. Like Yarmir, we see Yarmir go off, get distracted.
Right. So Yarmir, you get to what you think might be a graveyard, and you get to this obelisk.
I need to look to see how cheesy my spell can be real quick here. Sorry. I'm going to get to this obelisk, and I'm going to begin kind of taking whisking the snow away. And I might do it with my hands, but I think I have a cheesy spell that can do it for me that I can't find. Why is it not here? Wizard spells, just all of them. You don't have it in Regal Goblins.
What spell are you looking for?
I'm looking for Bind. Give me just a moment. I'm going to have to purple worm it.
Is that a spell?
Yep.
I've never
It is
heard
a spell, and I haven't.
It is a second level spell on Regal Goblins.
Second level. That's what my problem is. Okay. I do have it at second level. Why am I an idiot? Okay. Sorry, guys. I apologize for being dumb.
So how are you using Bind to clear snow?
Because I have a fishing net. And I think I can make it stiff.
Coil, loop and knot, tie and knot, reverse all those above, one command each round.
No, I thought I could make it stiff, but I guess I can't. I was gonna turn it into like a whisk and just kind of like make it whisk the snow away, but that's fine. I can only make it bind people up, coil and loop and knot and shit. Mm-hmm. So I just begin like carefully, like with my gloved hands, like removing. I don't have gloves, but I just stick my hands in the cold ice and begin moving it away.
You don't have gloves? All right, I think a minute or two later, Grimes shows up. And it's like, Yaramir, Ferris and William went on ahead to the keep.
Very good.
Can we wrap things up here and join them?
In a moment. I just like keep digging.
I like come up beside you and assist digging with with the pick.
It's like 3 feet of snow down to the ground level, which you guys can dig out in not too much time.
What are you looking for?
When it gets to the ground level, what's there?
Well, the obelisk comes down, then there's like a nice big square base to it, and then there are words carved into the obelisk itself, and then again on the base, but it's all in this Caledonian language that is ununderstandable.
How far have I gotten in the transcribing of that language into something I can understand? Like, are there pieces of this that I can kind of pull out?
Let me look at the former message that you wrote, or that you found.
You're the expert on this, but isn't it bad luck to loot a tomb?
I need to know what the bodies do. Last time we found one, it was clearly cursed in some way by this land. I want to know if someone who perished before ice has same problem.
You do catch the word for soul and water. But that's pretty much all you can decipher right now.
Okay.
Wait, what's your intelligence again?
16.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. That's good.
Thieves no longer have the read language skill, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So basically, I have 5 language slots. I've only filled 3 of them, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like with my intelligence and a cipher, like, I can probably start learning this language.
Definitely. You can totally do that, but it'll take time. It'll take, like, a few months of game time to be able to do that.
Does this look like it is encased in stone? Like, is this like a sarcophagus, or is it buried 6 feet down in the ground?
No, this looks like your standard, someone's buried here, and then they put, like, a big rock on top to mark the place. I don't have a shovel with me. Someone does. I'll dig this up later. How deep does Detect Magic go through dirt? Do you know off the top of your head? Yard through wood. I don't know about dirt. Let's see.
A stone wall of 1 foot, metal of 1 inch, a yard or more of solid wood. I think we could probably say if it's a yard or more of solid wood, like I could probably see through this up to a yard.
I think you could probably do dirt to a yard. Probably.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I sit here for a moment and I kind of cast Detect Magic. I begin tracing this like eyeball, right? This circle radiating spikes kind of around my eye. Mm-hmm. And I detect magic and I try to appear through this grave. And and see if it radiates magic in the same way that the body we found previously did.
It does not.
Okay.
I will point out that you are reminded of a magic ring on Grimes' finger next to you.
Yes. Yes. I look at you for a moment. I say, have you given any thought about allowing me to play with your ring for a bit?
I look down at my hand. I'm not sure what you mean.
You have told me it helps you understand language. When you wear it, what you hear. Perhaps in the hands of someone with a little bit of the touch. I can use it to help us read this language faster.
Huh. That hadn't occurred to me. I touch my right hand to the obelisk and look at these symbols.
When he does this, I kind of want to trace like a symbol of power like over his hand to try to like help along the process.
I look startled. I mean, I think to me they still just look like gibberish symbols, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to borrow it for a minute or two?
I think I will. Perhaps I do wish to borrow it. I will need it for longer than a minute or two. I wish to perform ritual with it. Do we have time now? You did mention that we needed to get back to.
I look over my shoulder. We can take a few minutes, but.
Yes, Grimes.
The ring is mine. You don't know what I've sacrificed to get
I would never try to take it from you. But yes.
So I remove my right glove, and I'm suspecting it takes a lot of fussing to get my glove off. You probably know. I mean, now that I don't know that I've really ever removed this glove. Mm-hmm. Maybe occasionally to like let my hands air out so they don't mold, but like. So I've got to like fuss with like the finger of the glove to even get it off. Maybe I have to like turn the glove inside out and yank and get it. And you see that the ring is stitched into the right finger of the glove. So I like flip it back inside out and hand you the whole glove that you need to put on.
I'm gonna like carefully unstitch it so I can take it out.
Grimes bites his tongue as he's like, why are you doing that?
I need the ring out. And
your leisure.
I take that little bit of powdered silver that I had left over from scraping it off the silver coins, and I eat that. And I take, what do I have on me that stick like? I don't have anything on me that stick like. Oh, I use the end of my sling. I use like the handle of my sling to begin drawing in the kind of snow around me this large symbol of detect magic. And I sit down in the center of it, and I hold the ring to my eye, and I trace around the ring the same magic symbol as I have drawn in the ground, and I meditate very deeply on the like connections of magic that I see like enwrapping this ring. And I attempt to like project my vision through the magic of the ring, look through it at the symbols written on the obelisk. And I just kind of completely empty my mind of everything except like the magic that is tying into this ring and the symbols through it. And probably I give this like a solid like hour if Grimes doesn't like interrupt the process.
If there's a lull where it seems like it'd be appropriate to interrupt, I will chime in with the it works by putting it on your finger, right? But I guess I'll hang around.
And I probably chant to myself like some arcane words in the old common. Like there's this kind of like guttural old language that's like almost indecipherable that I just kind of chant out words of power in from my old master as I try to wield the power of this ring to read this language.
Okay.
So I encourage you to go through this ritual, but out of character, I think your best bet would be to put the ring on. We'll see what we come up with. While we're waiting, I'll show off this beer that I brought back with me.
Ooh.
From where?
I got it in Leavenworth, but it's some like Czech beer. It's Dragon Lady, although it's probably reversed in there.
You gotta move it to the side a little bit more. There you go.
We got this lovely lady, spitting image of Verossi herself, and a black dragon.
Verossi has dark hair, but otherwise, yeah, totally.
She's my goddess, and I can envision her however.
She appears to you however you want it, I guess, yeah. Okay. Perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for here. Okay, so you cast this detect magic spell, you look through the ring at the plaque, and the gibberish before you starts to make sense.
Whoa.
It says something along the lines of like, "Here lies Lord John, died in a watery grave, may his soul rest for all eternity. He was a great man, beloved by many."
So Yaramir does this by looking through the ring?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Here lies Lord John. He died in a watery grave.
His soul rests for all time. He was beloved by many.
Let his soul rest for all time.
Neal's like, why are you writing this down?
So as these words slowly form in front of me, I probably intone them in like common, like out loud in kind of a transitive state, right? So Grimes, you kind of just hear me begin speaking like very slowly, as if like a grade schooler was reading like and sounding out the words like, "Here lies and Lord John. He died in a watery grave."
I'm half suspicious that maybe you're making this up because that's not a generic tombstone inscription. But then again, Grimes can't even read common, so
Who knows what they put on tombstones, man?
So
anyone who's able to read.
After the words kind of coalesce, like the color kind of drains from my face, and I look exhausted, and I kind of like look up to you and like hand the ring back and say, "This proved very useful. I was able to read the words. They said, 'Here lies John, died in a watery grave, and let his soul rest for all time.' I think that perhaps if we find any more inscriptions, this might be the easiest way to read them until I can learn this language myself."
I nod. Sure.
We can, of course, do this in secret from party if you do not wish them to know of your...
I give you a wink. I was about to say the same thing. For now, perhaps it is best that we keep this our little secret. I fear that William may want my hand if he finds out that I'm hiding this from y'all.
Strange bow. It kind of looks very proper and formal, but it's not from Drekis. And say, Jaromir is well learned in the art of keeping secrets.
All right. I guess Grimes will put it back on his finger, wondering if this is a power that it had the whole time, if only he were literate enough to use this.
All right, let's flip back to the others. Ferris and Kel William.
So we're trudging through the snow towards the keep, and I'm grumbling to myself. And I say, a little bit out loud, Yaramir is going to get us all killed. He doesn't know how to follow orders. I don't know if I'm necessarily anticipating a response from Ferris, but
I think Ferris mostly just smirks at that. Like, he stays quiet. You're not talking to him. He doesn't see a reason to talk back. But
yeah,
he just
You think? So a few moments of silence pass. I say, you think this place is empty of monsters? I don't see any
almost
signs.
certainly not.
You seen any footprints or anything like that?
I haven't seen anything, right? No. But
Anything
still,
smart?
there's too much shelter here. Too many protections from the element for this to be.
Well, anything smart will be in the keep, surely. Let's go check it out.
You trudge through the snow for a while, but you get to the keep. The front doors of the keep have been battered down and are just like frozen to the ground now.
Okay. I will light a lantern.
Oh no, I've got my skull, man.
Oh yeah.
Your skull produces
right.
a soft red glow.
I thought it was better than a lantern light, wasn't it?
No.
Or it was the same. It was like 30 feet around us, was what you told us, and that's the same as a lantern.
It should be the same as torchlight, yeah. But as like a soft red light instead of a nice bright one. But it's still like the same. Like if you're in your like own personal study and you've got the skull right next to your book, you'll probably be able to read the book no problem. It's like nice lighting. But if you're like trying to search a tomb or a building, something a little bit brighter and a little bit better. A torch would be a lantern would be a little bit better. The torch will work, but the lantern's like brighter, more focused light.
So I lance one of my lantern oils. I leave the sled outside the keep. Or no, I drag it just inside the door. I light the lantern, shield on my back, sword in my right hand, and step through the. Is the door completely gone, or is kind of
it's like knocked down and actually on the inside, frozen to the ground?
Okay, is there any immediate obvious signs of life in here?
No.
Like anything's been in here? No. It's not like there's a... Alright, so...
Ferris is going to look around and see if there's any signs of, like, recent passage. Like any... I assume that some snow was, like, blown into the building.
When you walked up to the doorway. Totally fresh.
Okay.
You guys can scour the keep. There are still a few relics of ancient civilization here, but they're pretty paltry. There's nothing particularly interesting, nothing valuable in the slightest. Like
Any
maybe
books?
you find like a scrap of wood that looks like it might have been a table leg once upon a time that's like tossed to the side, but nothing even remotely interesting or valuable. The whole keep looks like it's been ransacked by something. Most of the furniture's gone. Basically all the furniture's gone. The blankets and pillows are gone. Any sort of weapons that might have been here, gone.
So it doesn't look like it's eroded, it looks like it's been taken.
It looks like it's been ransacked.
Perhaps we'd be better off searching the temple in town.
This is a bit interesting though, don't you think? Because whatever killed these people, you would assume it would kill everyone at the same time.
What do you mean?
Well, who ransacked it?
Angry peasants. The Lord... Disaster swept into Caledonia. The Lords shut themselves off from the rest of the town. Probably stockpiled food and left the peasants to starve. Angry peasants swarmed the castle, killed the lords, and ransacked the entire place.
I'd assumed if the gods had cursed the place, it would have just happened overnight.
Sure, but do you think everybody died overnight?
I shrug and feeling a bit stupid think like, yeah. Do you not?
No. We've lived here for months. As long as you have some sort of warmth, you won't freeze to death in a matter of hours.
But the trees and the body we saw, it seemed like it had all just been frozen in time.
Sure. After you died from being exposed to the elements, you get frozen.
But the trees don't look dead. The trees are alive, but frozen.
Sure, but people don't look dead when they first die. It takes a while to decompose, William. I know you're already decomposing, but you're a bit more venerable than most.
No, but think about it. If a tree was to die of natural causes, then it wouldn't have all of its leaves. So it was frozen before it died.
Sure, but the trees were all exposed to the elements permanently. Imagine, if you're inside of a house, it protects you from biting winds.
Hey.
Alright, so, we meet back up at the entrance of the keep. Does it seem like a relatively good place to camp, though, Neal?
Totally. It's well protected from the outsides. If you just, find something to block some of the windows and the door, this place would be perfect.
Is the old door there? Could we lift up the door and...
No, it's like snow has fallen onto the door and, frozen it to the ground. You might be able to, clear the ice away from it and then, prop it up, but it would be a pain in the ass, and it probably won't even fit anymore. It's been messed up.
Is that like a dungeon or a second story that's already more protected?
There is a second and a third story.
Yeah, so if we were to go up to the third story, it's probably relatively warm. How much is left in the day at this point? Enough time to explore?
I would say you're about... you're a little afternoon. You got time.
Okay. Is there an obvious temple?
There are some large buildings. There's something that does sort of look like a temple. It's not the same sort of temple structure and layout that you have back in Drekis. All back there, like all of your major temples are built in the exact same pattern. This is a different pattern, but it still has the trappings that would look like a temple.
Is it like ours were built in a cross shape and these are like circular domes or something?
It's the equivalent of that, but
all right.
different
Let's
shapes.
let's check out the temple, then we've still got time.
Sure. You head back into town. Grimes and Yaromir at the graveyard. When you're done reading this thing, what do you do?
I think I would. I mean, once Yarmir's done it, I think I was like, "Come on, William and Ferris are up at the manor house. Let's catch up with them." And then, so we probably head towards the manor house to try and meet up with them. You guys catch each other.
Maybe
they've already left, or we spot them moving.
I think
back
you
into
spot
town.
them coming back into town, exactly. And the four of you meet back up at the edge of town a little bit afternoon. You've got a few hours of daylight left. Like 4, 5, 6.
Did you guys find anything?
Yeah, Wonder Boy's getting pretty good at this new language already. He's able to translate some of a tombstone.
Anything interesting on it?
Only thing that caught my eye is a died in watery grave. Perhaps he was victim of salty maiden sinking.
Possible.
How have you learned the language already, Yaromir?
I am very smart.
The keep looks ransacked. Like,
Did it? I have noticed that we find very few things in houses, no personal items. Is it possible that before Calamity they moved items?
seems strange.
Why do we assume all of these things happened before the Calamity?
Well, my thought process is after Calamity, only monsters around.
That's what I
Monsters
thought.
could take things for sure, but would we not see more collateral damage? Broken window, broken door frame, messes in houses. Houses look untouched, undisturbed, no?
Yeah, and there should be bodies.
It's been more than 1,000 years. Perhaps time
Most of the doors have already rotted away.
Yeah, perhaps time has swept away all of the organic matter.
We were thinking of heading to this building, I say, pointing at the temple-looking place. Do you care to check it out?
I am feeling a bit exhausted, but yeah, sure, no, why not? I do wish to spend some time at Keep before nightfall.
Well, I've set up
There's
the
not
keep
much in there, but
the keep's safe, Yaromir, if you want to head up there. I think we're going to set up our camp on the 3rd floor.
I
Okay.
think we ought to stick together, no?
Yes, I agree. I would like to stick together for now, but perhaps short trip to potential church, and then give me hour or so to play with Keep.
Let's see what we find.
So there's really nothing of value in the keep?
Seems everything's gone.
Perhaps the Knolls have already been here. Neal, can you remind me if the Knolls had been south of the wall? If I can't remember if the Knolls had said the wall was like a barrier that they couldn't cross, or if it was something that they would raid past. Should I dig through chat logs to see if I have evidence of such?
Yeah, that might be the best way of doing it. It's been months in game since you last spoke to a Knoll, so it's probably been as long as it has been in the real world. So I think Grimes is similarly.
Yeah. So I think he just says perhaps the Knolls have already raided this area.
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever make it past the wall?
Damn it, Sean.
Wait, what?
If you give me a minute or two, I might be able to answer that. But
All right.
as of now, I can't remember. And
What did you tell me about the Knolls? You didn't tell me everything, but I wrote down what you said.
Chat seems to think I'm
I didn't realize that was
keeping
what you missed. I was literally asking as like a passing question. I realized that's what you forgot.
Yeah, I was asking Neal.
I'm sorry.
So we go into the temple now.
To the
Does it look like it's to a specific god, and is it one of our gods?
It looks like a generalist temple to all of the gods.
To our gods, though.
Yeah, it is the 29 gods that exist in the world.
Same 29 gods that I know.
Yep.
Okay. So I look around the rooms. I'm looking for valuables.
Yeah, the temple is well built. It's made out of stone. It has more of like a hallway-ness to it. Your buildings are usually a little bit more rounded, and you've got like the major 7 over here, like kind of pointed on these you've got the big 4 on the corners, and then you've got the ones that go between them, and then you've got the other 3 situated in the middle with like the upper and lower gods in the middle too, and it's kind of like this big series of concentric circles with statues all over them. This is more of like a hallway. On the left side at the beginning is the statue of Malchus. On the right side is the statue of Verasi, and like going down the halls, you would have the autumn gods on the right, the spring gods on the left, and then at the very end in front of you are all of the summer gods, and Martha and
are there no
Sarah.
winter gods?
No, there are no winter gods. There are no constellations in the winter sky because there are no winter gods.
Okay, so is there anything interesting other than is it just literally a large hallway with shrines, or is there rooms?
You notice are any of you particularly religious?
I think I imagine Grimes being religious in a very basic sort of way. I don't have a proficiency or anything, but I played him as being kind of super. Like I think he's in the way that common folk are religious.
I feel like
he's not religious at all.
I feel like I went to church. Right?
Jaromir is probably well educated in religion, even if he's not like particularly devout. So Jaromir, you quickly notice that the statue to Velthara, the goddess of vengeance, is missing.
Sure.
Just, like there's clearly a spot where it used to be, and it's just not there.
Yeah.
Are there? I consult my folklore. Is there any ill omens associated with Velthara missing from the pantheon?
No. So Velthara is the goddess of vengeance and the patron of the gnolls. So clearly they have raided south. And to back to our previous comment. I mean, so the gnolls had told.
Hold on, with it being gone, does it look like it's just gone, or does it look like there's rubble where its spot used to be? Like, does it look like the statue's just missing, or does it look like it was destroyed and like its remains were scattered? Okay.
Yeah, the gnolls would have taken it, and Grimes would have said this in character, but I just like checked it up now. So the gnolls had told me, or I guess Nash had mentioned that the gnolls had raided like in and around the wall was the language that was described to me. So they went to the wall and around the wall, and that's where they brought back all these metal items. So it seems that they probably pushed past the wall and have already raided this village.
So this is where Bokassa and Sanko got their weapons from, maybe.
Perhaps this is where
this also means perhaps there is other pack here as well. It's possible. If gnolls could make it down here, why not populate here?
Yeah, he's right. So Neal, it's like a priest's room or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay,
ransacked, desolate. Something has definitely come through here and taken everything out.
In some churches, there's like catacombs. Are there places where the dead are interred here?
Yes, at the base near the front where all the summer gods are, and Martha and Astaire, there are large rectangular slabs that have text carved into them that look like the sort of things you would find in a church where you buried super important people, and there's like in the floor, not in a catacomb, but like buried under the ground, so no one can ever get to them without tearing up the church itself.
Okay.
In the priest's quarters, I'd do like a check for like hidden chests maybe that the gnolls might not have found. Like if there was like a chest of the altar, you could push the altar over and maybe there's a chest under it, or something like that.
Just walk up to the altar and like shove it over. Like, is there a chest here?
Oh no, if we're doing that, Ferris is totally on board. He'll help you shove over the altar.
I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect it. I'm just trying to check.
I'm not trying to disrespect.
I am.
Do you know what I mean though? Like if someone did a passing ransacking of the entire town, they might miss like a chest hidden under.
Right. So you want to thoroughly ransack the temple to the gods.
It's almost like elves have a % chance to detect hidden passages and rooms.
That is true.
Not ransack, Neal, just search.
Yeah. That's true. Looking through this
but
place.
You're like tearing things apart and pushing things over. That's the definition of ransack, my friend.
So
I'm not really pushing things over. I'm just gonna like, does it move? If it does, I'll shove it a little bit and look under it. Push it back. I'm not like knocking over all the bookshelves and like pulling everything out and stuff like that.
No, you find no valuables in the church.
Okay. So,
Neal, I do have a 1 in 6 chance to spot hidden doors and passages.
Isn't it 1 in 3 if you're
If I'm actively seeking, it becomes a 2 in 6. Oh wait, no, it's 1 in 3 if I'm
Yeah,
so
same.
6,
2 in
1
6.
and 3, same. All right, you guys are good.
so satisfied that there's nothing else here, I'll start to encourage the party to head back to the keep to settle in for the night, and then tomorrow.
I place a figurine of is Velfara male or female?
Female.
Great. So remember the figurine I took from the Yeti cave?
Yes.
I place the figurine of that woman on the pedestal of Velfara and give a small prayer to Velfara and I'm not a priest, but I've seen it done. I try to bless this in a manner so that the pantheon is complete.
Ooh.
Good thinking. May Velfara's vengeance pass right on over us and curse the next man in line.
Ferris spits on the floor before he walks out of the church.
So your 2 actions even out. I was gonna give you some bonuses and have a god come down and talk to you, but let's just call it a wash.
If I see Faris doing that, I'll just say to him, Faris, you should be careful with that kind of thing.
I've been cursing the gods all my life. I don't think they could curse me any more than they already have.
Have you seen this place? I wouldn't be so sure.
I don't think he responds to that bit.
So
Right.
Do we head to the keep? Is that where we're staying
Yes,
tonight?
please. I would like to go to the keep before. I need a solid amount of time at the keep. Maybe nothing happens while I'm there, but I want the time to spend before it gets dark.
So,
And
I wanna
Grimes,
discuss
Grimes would like to search the keep. He hasn't had a chance. I don't think he'll actually find anything more than the rest of the guys did, but that's a thing that he would do.
Yeah, I want to discuss with whoever's not busy about where we should head tomorrow to the weird Omega V or to the engineering symbol.
So
I think-
South or north?
well,
I think
hold on, before
Yar's
we
made
have that
his-
discussion, actually,
Thoughts on that clear?
you guys are all heading to the keep together. It's a light day. Can I get the whole party to make me perception checks before this conversation goes down?
Sure.
Alrighty.
14, I think, for me.
Oh wow.
Nice. Yeah, 14. Ooh.
We are on point, wasting all the good rolls before combat.
Dad.
Nice work, Grimes.
So you're walking up to the keep and you're beginning to talk about where you want to go, and something on the mountains in front of you on your way towards the keep stands out to you. I think Grimes and Ferris are taking a look at it for a moment, and then maybe exchange a glance and realize that there is very clearly a path or a pass that has been carved into the side of the mountain that it's still covered in snow, but there's very clearly mountainside, then all of a sudden a straight drop and a flat area, and that straight drop and flat area goes all the way along the mountain ridge, kind of like that.
Along there? Okay.
Oh, that lines up exactly with what I was saying before. I 100% think that's a mine up there, and I 100% think we have a trading town in the center. That lines up exactly with what I was thinking.
If it's a mine, that might be a reason to expand our fort down here.
It may even be a path across the mountains that we could use in the future.
If it's an iron mine, we may have already found the thing that makes this a worthwhile investment for the princess.
I agree.
Watch it be something less valuable, but watch it be something monetarily valuable.
It's
but
a brass mine.
Worthless to us, I don't know. What's a valuable resource, but wouldn't
Or a calcum.
all?
Oil.
Salt? Sulfur? Salt? You don't mine sulfur.
Salt would be valuable.
Yeah, monetarily, but completely not.
Gold would be pretty useless to us.
Not really.
Well, it's monetarily valuable,
gold would
but
be
we
pretty
couldn't use
useful
it.
to us. It could be a gold mine, 100%.
Well, having seen this, I will suggest that we head there tomorrow. It seems like an important find.
So there should be another path out of town, correct? Did we ever spot any roads? Even from the spacing of the buildings, is it clear?
Definitely, from the spacing of buildings, you totally see roads, but they're all buried beneath the snow.
we've got an idea where the other road out of town should be, though.
Yeah, if you follow the road towards the edge of town, you can kind of you can follow it until the buildings stop lining the road, and then it's just kind of open country for a while, and then forest a few miles out of town. It very much looks like there was farmland here, but just the buildings from that farmland have been degraded, collapsed, ruined, or whatever. And so wherever the road might have gone is covered by the open, soft ground around you.
Yaramir, assuming that the plaque was, relatively correct in its dimensions, do you think you'd be able to plot a route to the southern symbol?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got direction sense. I got a compass. I got a generic map. Oh, yeah. That's 100% in my wheelhouse.
That second symbol might be the easy win. The sort of path north through the mountains might be more difficult. Maybe it's perhaps makes more sense to go to the easy one first.
My general thought is we definitely have a mine, and we definitely have either a large temple or a larger town that was made for trading and logging. I think my experience with mines is that they have become home of monsters, things that do not like the ice. It's possible we go there and we find treasure and find fight, but I am very interested in town large enough or important enough to be marked on map. I think it's possible could have been hub of this area.
Well, we're all here, so why don't we all take a vote? Yaramir, it sounds like you want to go south.
This would be my goal.
Faris.
How many days have we been here so far?
3. So third day.
I mean, since the ship dropped us off.
Yeah, we've had three days of rations.
2 days and
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we spent some time, and we'd spent
It was 1 day at the lighthouse, and then a
2 days at the lighthouse. 3 days at the lighthouse.
And
2
then
days
3 days.
traveling.
Today is your 7th day since you arrived at the lighthouse.
I'm gonna start tracking
Actually, given that we may not have time to explore both in a month, we may want to. Maybe
how many days of rations do we have left?
18. So,
divided by 4, or
4.5 days.
So we should be hunting.
Yes,
and we may not have time to explore both paths in a month before the ship is back. Maybe we should prioritize the mine.
Okay, Grimes, is that your vote?
I would think prioritize the mine.
I don't get a vote. This isn't a democracy, Captain.
I'm giving you a vote, Grimes. Doesn't mean I have to follow it, but
yeah, I think the mountains are going to be potentially more lucrative, and I don't know if we have time to hit both in a month.
Faris?
So I would vote the mine.
If we find a pass through those mountains, it would make getting down here and back much easier in the future. I think it's the worthwhile investment.
To be said, I do not think it is pass-through mountain. I 100% believe is road to mine and nothing else. It would be very costly to blast through mountain and create pass, but less costly to create road to mine you go to all time.
Fair. Either way, I think the mine would be more valuable.
All right.
Might be more difficult to get to, but if we can only explore one, that should be the one that we explore.
Assuming that the other place is easier to get to, it's also more likely to have been ransacked. I'm gonna say we go to the mine.
Okay.
All right. So we could do with maybe spending a day trying to find some food around here, though.
Food and firewood. We're not going to have many options to cut down trees along the pass. Or wait, are there trees on the mountains, Neal?
There are a few, not many, but there are a few. Greg, what did you want to do while you were in the
the first thing I want to do is check to see if there are bodies in the basement of the tower. Or
the tower has a small little basement-y thingy with no bodies in it and no supplies.
Is there a wine cellar?
There is a basement thingy. Whether it was used for wine or storage is hard to tell because it is empty.
I'm not able to scavenge 1,500-year-old whiskey.
No, I'm sorry. It is desolate. It's gone.
Grimes will spend the evening scouring the keep from top to bottom, looking for valuables, appraising. It sounds like there's nothing there, and the party's already searched it. But that's what I waste my evening doing.
Awesome. So, I look for bodies, make sure there's none, which is disappointing because I kind of wanted to play with one. But Yaromir is a little nervous because we finally found something vaguely civilized. And the last body we found was very clearly and obviously cursed in some way. And he knows he's in a cursed land. And maybe if he hadn't have found the first frozen body, he wouldn't have anything to go on. But he's a little concerned about the cursed bodies having it out for us in some way. And so he wants to consult his omens and his folklore to find some kind of ward against the dead. And he memorized alarm for today, and he's going to put alarm down over where we camp. Like you said, the third floor. I'm going to create an alarm spell, but I want to weave in, like I want to consult the bones or consult my knowledge of folklore to weave in warding against the dead into my spell. Or just put the spell down and then make other wards if necessary. Like if it's like put garlic on your windows, like I'm gonna find some damn garlic, right?
Right.
Have grains of rice you can throw down. That's
salt, isn't it? You could grind your salt up and make a salt circle. If anything, it'll protect you from slugs.
So I don't know if you've got any
against the dead, just in case.
Yeah, you can throw some salt around and carve some runes into these things, or whatever it is that you do to try and ward against the undead.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What are you doing, Yaromir?
The last body we found was clearly cursed. This is first evidence of potential civilization. I just want to be safe until we know more about the bodies. I am disappointed I did not have time to investigate them more thoroughly before we head to stay night in a place where there's clearly people.
Safe from what?
Everything. I am very cautious man, William. Everyone is Yaromir to me. I am solipsis. You do not live as long as I have, as hard as I have, without having caution ingrained in you, especially when it comes to the arcane. It ties you down in ways you don't really understand until it's too late sometimes.
All right. I'm not sure what you're implying, but I don't trust you. Hey, talking about those bodies though, any idea why there's no bodies here?
Possible they all left.
But like I was saying earlier, I would have expected that whatever the gods did killed everyone at once.
I imagine it happened very quickly, if not at once. I agree with you.
They had time to flee, take shelter.
Why do we assume that everybody would have died at once? If they froze over the continent, wouldn't that have made it unsustainable? If you freeze over an entire continent, you don't need to kill everybody at once. You can just let the collapse of their agricultural system do it for them.
Well, the process of freezing is probably, assuming this was not an area that was cold all of time, if we immediately froze over Drekis, would not people be dying by the thousands of frostbite and exposure? They're not prepared for this.
Sure, but inside their homes, many people are capable of creating fires.
If not immediately, in a handful of hours.
Where else would they go?
How long would you survive in home when blizzard hit?
Depends on how much firewood I've cut down.
Well, you wouldn't go outside, would you? You'd stay
Sure,
in the
but everybody
house.
cuts firewood in advance.
No, but what I'm saying
Would you have enough to survive blizzard? I find this...
Who knows? I don't think you would have died instantaneously, though. That seems to be what we think here.
Or within a few hours, perhaps a day.
Either way, though, there should be bodies here. There should be people that have died in this town. A lot
This
of
is
people.
part of the reason I'm drawing salt circle.
Yeah. I'm starting to think, understand what you're saying, but those kind of things are best not discussed. I think talking about it makes them more likely to come, or something like that. I think I read that in a book.
Right. The afternoon has already turned into late evening. And as you settle in for your night here in the tower, surrounded by your salt,
Is there a fireplace?
there
Did we
is.
get it?
Yeah,
So we can light a fire in a fireplace and have
Totally.
some semblance of civilization.
absolutely.
It's probably no
Yes.
furniture, but
So, Neal, I'm not knocking down my 40 pounds of firewood. I'm just going to assume that I refilled 40 pounds on
Fine.
the slow
Yeah,
every
you
day.
can head outside, cut down some trees, come back in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I assume you guys take watches like you always do. So
Yeah.
Bear in mind there is an alarm spell that's been cast.
Does it ignore us? Can we come and go as we please?
I wouldn't suggest it. I don't actually know that off the top of my head. I'll have to look.
We're going to spend tomorrow collecting resources, right? We're not going to leave tomorrow.
Yeah, let's get some food tomorrow.
I think we'll
I think we should have more firewood as well. If we only have
Any creature larger than a normal rat. So if you're larger than a normal rat, it'll go off for you.
I'm pretty ratty.
all right. So who's on first, second, third, and fourth watch? Give me your order of watching, boys.
I'll go first.
Do you just want to go in the camera order? Works for me.
Sure. We'll go Nick, Sean, Ryan, Greg. We'll do reverse camera order.
I always just do camera order and roll d4s for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Much faster.
Okay. So, Nick, your watch
Yes.
is first. Everyone else is bedding down in this nice cozy place. There's like a fire in the fireplace. You've got blankets. It's nice and toasty in here.
Is there doors up here? Like, am I in a room with closed doors?
No, there's no closed doors.
So what's the kind of, is there hallways? Is there one stairway? Is there
This
multiple?
looks like it was a bedroom once upon a time.
Okay,
so
so I'm
there's like
looking.
a door that leads out into a hallway that connects with other things, and then there's a staircase out there.
Where's
It's a
the
pretty
alarm set, Yaramir? Is it at the stairs or at the room?
It's like an AoE, right?
It's
So
it's an AoE. It's
can I
a
patrol
20.
the floor?
It's a 20-foot cube around where we're sleeping. So I imagine it's like the room.
How big's the room, Neal? 20-foot
Pretty
cube.
small.
So I can probably patrol a little bit of the hallway as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I don't just sit in the room. I'll walk up and down the hall a little bit within the realms of the spell and.
See, reduce the radius by 10 feet for each interposing door and 20 feet for each substantial interposing wall. Oh, that's for the loudness that it rings. Okay, never
That's for
mind.
the loudness. Yeah.
Cool. So you're on your watch here, Kel William, when you look out through the window that faces south towards the town, and you see a light on in one of the buildings.
Oh shit!
It is It's a dim, pale light. And I think that is where we're going to take our break. And we'll come back from break on the other side with William's decisions on what to do.
spooky.